is Sapna Thakur from PG Department of Computer Science and IT from PCMST College for Women, Jalandhar. Today we are going to discuss the topic C++ object-oriented language features. I think students, when you start with the language, you have already studied the C language, and how the C and C++ is different, because the C++ language is support the OOPS concept, which is an object-oriented programming language. By using the OOPS concepts, C++ language becomes a more powerful language with the help of these features. So first start with the very first slide. Here you see something. Object-oriented programming language is basically deal with the concept of classes and object. As you can see here, the some object classes and objects make the language more powerful and more convenient. By using the I think you have make a points. We'll start with the first points. With the C++ language, C++ making your language is more logical and functional and it is totally related to the real world entities. Second thing, by using the OOPS concept in C++, you have get the security, and the third one is by using the C++ object-oriented features, you can make your program with more related to the real world entities. Like for example, if you have dealing with the banking things, you can make the program more relevant by using the object-oriented programming language. Here, as you can see here, OOPS is an approach of a programming pattern where the program are structured around the objects rather than the function and logic. As you have seen in the C language, you are mainly working with the functions, right? But in the C++ language, you have to use the objects. Here you can see the new word is the object. It makes the data partitioned into the two memory areas. The first one is the data and the second one is the function, which helps the make the code more flexible and relevant. You have heard the word more realistic related to the more realistic word, which is word is the object. Object is the combination of data and function. In the program, in the logical program, you have to create so many objects, and now the object-oriented programming is mainly focused on the object rather than focused on the function. They are focused on the object, so that object have a combination of attribute and function. Here you can see the example. You can see in the slide, I had taken an example of a class vehicle. First I need to understand the concept of class, right? If you have a good idea of the class, then you will understand that example of vehicles. First I will show you the definition of an object and class. The first is an object. Object can be defined as an entity that has state and behavior. In other words, anything that exists physically in the world is called the object, and it can be represented like for example, dog, a person, a table, etc. An object means a combination of data and program which further represent an entity. In simple words, we can say object is like आप define कर सकते हो इसको. Object is anything in the world, in the real world entities, like a chair. A chair have properties, a chair have attributes, and a chair have some behavior, right? Like we can see a chair is used for the sitting purpose. Chair is a movable entity, all right? Sitting thing is your behavior, come into the behavior function or module, and chair chair type, chair color, chair size, chair height is came under to the attributes. So making the combination of attribute and functions grouped together make an object, and this object is totally related to the real world entity. So the first line here you have seen in the slide, an object can be defined as an entity that has state and behavior. Is that means state and behavior, or in the other words, anything in the physically in the world is called the object. I think you have some idea of object. Next, move to the class. A class is said to be a blueprint of an object. We can say a class is a kind of have a similarity with the object. In the program you have to create a class. Class is like a work like a container which contain the object and function. I have show you in the example. You have show in example class vehicle. Class is the keyword and vehicle is the name of the class, right? You have seen a class is a keyword and vehicle is the name of the class, and in the vehicle you have taken a attribute and member functions, data members and member function. With the combination of data members and member function is creating a class. Class is also called as a container. If I give an example of a class vehicle, we can use the data members is like a vehicle color, vehicle speed and vehicle mileage. And member function we can see what purpose, what type of purpose you can use, two-wheeler, three-wheeler, or it is have a number of seats, number of occupied seats and number of free seats is commended to the member behaviors. You have further subdivided into the different objects. You have a one object and subdivided into multiple objects. The first one is class bus, second one is class car, and third one is class bike. The first one is class bus is also contain their own attributes and member function. Similarly, class car is also containing a same member and member functions, and class bike is also containing like a two-wheeler bike is their member function, and is attribute is a color of a bike, speed of a bike, company of a bike, that is came under to the attributes of the bike. Okay, let's take another example which I think it would be helpful for you to have a clarity of the class. This see to the other side of the slide. We have take a class car, right? Class is a keyword and car is the name of class. You have the combination of data members and member function. Data member is the wheels, the total number of wheels, bumpers and exhaust, and the member function is containing the speed, engine and mileage. These are the member functions. Member function is come into the category of the behavior of the car, and data member is come into the attributes of the car. I think you have a clarity of a car. Now I have give a look. Okay, so this I have also given an example of an object. You have see the class car and object is number of cars and number of vehicles. Number of vehicles will came under to the bus, four-wheeler. Class car is came under the also four-wheelers, and class bike is came under the two-wheelers in a pictoric form. You can see in diagrammatical form. Now move to the next slide. Here is a third option is abstraction. Abstraction means like performing a data hiding. Abstraction helps the data hiding process. It helps in displaying the essential features without showing the detail or functionality of the user. It avoids the unnecessarily information or irrelevant details and show only the specific part which the user want to see. Like for example, you have taking an example of your home. You have using your TV remote button. Um by using your TV remote button, you can only change the channels from forward and backward according to your requirement. You cannot see how it is work, how it is get the signals, how it is moving from the next channel to another channel. You just moving, you have a idea of you get the idea where to be moved from the next button or back button, but you don't know the details of the working of changing a channel. So abstraction is came under to the overview. You know, you don't want to go with the details of working. You are just doing a doing your things, outer part, overview part. Okay, next take another example of abstraction. You are um, going in the bank, and you have performing some activities like performing a debit and credit from your account. You don't know how it is perform in the back end. That is came under to the abstraction. Abstraction is the overview. Now move to the next slide. Next slide is came under to the feature encapsulation. Encapsulation is the wrapping up the data and function together into the single unit. It is known as encapsulation. It can be achieved by making the data members as a scope, private and member functions, scope, public to access these data members. Encapsulation make the data non-accessible to the outside world. Now you can compare your both languages you have learning or you have learned. You have learned the C language and you have learning a C++. C language is not providing a security feature, which is C++ providing a security features with the help of OOPS concept. How? By using encapsulation operation. Encapsulation feature. Encapsulation basically providing you a accessibility of data. I don't want to I don't want that my member function is accessed by any of the programmer or any of the user. So you want to protect your accessibility of member functions by using access specifiers. You have you have given a class is defined as a data members and member function. You have your data members like your variables. You can give your access specifier is a private, so that your data members or variables cannot be accessible by any other class or object in the program. And your member function would be a public because it is a it would be a journal. For example, I will take an example of a banking. I have make a class of an person. In this person, I have give the attributes in a general term, private attributes like account number. I specified the account number in a static manner, and the name and the IFC code. But I had made the member function of the class is public, so that the two member function is public, like credit and debit, which is generally used by all the persons. So this is the encapsulation feature. So that particular attributes is not accessible by any other object or class. That is an encapsulation. Encapsulation define the access specifiers, and access specifiers has a three types. First one is private, second one is public, and third one is protected, right? So next point is inheritance. This is one of the most important and powerful feature of C++ object oriented programming, which is an inheritance. Inheritance is the process in which a two class have a relationship among each other, and the object of the one class acquires the properties of a features of other class. The class which inherit the features is known as a child class, and class whose feature is inherited is called the parent class. For example, like you have seen in the previous one, class vehicle is a parent class, class bus, car and bike are the child classes. I show you in the diagram here. The class, first is class is a parent class, and base classes is a class bus, class car, and class bike. How it would be in help in inheritance? We can also take another example. When a parents have a child, and parent is a parent class and child is a subclass, so the parents features came under to the child by inherently, and child has their own features also. So the child get the two features of their parents and also their own features. So the student or child will be a get the more features, right? I think you have some idea that inheritance is make the another subclasses is more powerful. Why? Because it is also inherit their parents features, and plus another is their own features also, right? Then I move to the next is a polymorphism. Polymorphism, it means many forms. Poly means many, and morphism is a forms. That means the ability of to make a more than one form. It is a feature that provide the function an operator with a more than one definition. It can be implemented using the concepts of overloading, overriding, and virtual functions. Polymorphism, you can take an example of shapes. You have create a class of shape. By using the shape function, we can create so many subclasses, so many other functions in the module like rectangle class, circular class, hexagon class. So by using the shape class, you can drive so many classes in polymorphism. So make it many shapes. You can take just a general class, and with the help of this you can take so many similar things, similar word, right? Okay. Now last but not the least is the advantages of OOP. OOP concept is make one of the most important feature which is came under the totally related to the real world, which is providing a reusability. OOPs provide the reusability to the code and extend the use of existing class. That means we can create a code and we can use it again and again in many things. That class or object we can use again and again. We don't need to create a code again. In the OOPs, it is very easy to maintain the code as there is a class and objects, which helps the making it easy to maintain rather than reconstructing. It is also helps in the data hiding, keeping the data and information safe from leaking or getting exposed, as we have discussed in the abstraction or in a encapsulation feature, which is helping to provide the data safe. And last one is object oriented programming is easy to implement it because it is totally related to the real world and using the classes and object features. Thank you.